Hey, let's see this picture.
Perfect. Traders. Got that Bitcoin chart up here. Some projections going on. Got a projection
No,
going from the 28K low and from the all-time 67.1.
it's a nice
So
Friday.
let's see. Today's candle, obviously, we whipped up. I mean, we opened the day, went right up to the 95.4 Laplace distribution range on the projection from the 28K low, rejected from there. Right? And right now, we are sitting right in the weekly range this week. So it'll be interesting to see what type of weekend we do get. And the 68.3% Laplace distribution on the dailies at 60,653. That and the center of the weekly range, they're pretty much, jiving, shucking and driving together. Show you here real quick. Here's the 68.3 Laplace. Here's the center of the weekly range. Right? You can see, I mean, this is an area of interest right here. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of volatility right here. That's why I've said on previous streams, let's go to the beginning. There it is. Right. Where you at? There it is. Beginning of the week. And I was like, Bitcoin needs to get away from this weekly range. If Bitcoin does not get away from this weekly range, and I'm talking like 5K, which hell, I mean, we only got a couple days left in the week. It's a magnet. It is a magnet. We go up here and test that daily 68.3, get sucked right back down into the weekly range. We go up here for the weekly high up there around, 64 and some change, 64.4, I believe. And then we make our way right back down. Look at that wick right there the other day. Sucks right back down into the weekly range. Get another little pump up, sucks right back down into the weekly range. Last night, get a little pump up, suck right back down into the weekly range. I mean, that's where there's a lot of volatility at. And if you do not escape this area, if you do, I'm talking like 5K, this price action needed to get up about 65, 66,000 dollars to escape that. Let me see here. Let's go to this 4-hour chart, and we know what's up there. Got to get by that first, and it's at like 64. Where's it at now? The reverse Fisher's at about 64, 150. Yeah, 64, 166. Bitcoin's going to have to get by this sooner or later, or this is going to continue. We might pump up, reject off that reverse Fisher again. Every day I look for confluence up there. What's around that 64K area? So, you go up here, and boom, it's right here. It's right at the weekly R1. Right, here's the weekly range. This is the first resistance level for the weekly volatility range. So yeah, that's where we rejected from, the weekly high, and rejected off that reverse Fisher. Now we're right back down at the weekly damn range. That's going to continue to happen. Now we got rid of the institutional slugs, right? So we'll see what happens here over the weekend. I mean, let's see, institutional futures closed 61.80, although they're probably still, what time is it? I think they got about another, I think they're closing right now. They might have another half hour, about post-market action. So we'll see where that ends up closing. I'll look later. But yeah, right now, $61,000, 80 cents, right about where we're at. Literally right at the top of the weekly volatility range. And this is a tight weekly range. So I expected a lot more of a trend this week. There's 2 days left, so don't let it trick you. What's Bitcoin doing right now? Bitcoin is lulling people to sleep. I was talking to MJ about that earlier. That's exactly what's going on. It's lulling people to sleep. Right? Everybody's just like, oh, they stop paying attention. They start looking at shit coins. You turn around and you're like, Bitcoin's at 70K. That's watch what's going to happen. They're going to get done doing what they do. Just they're putting people to sleep right now. This price action is boring unless you're scalping the low time frame delta. Right? I mean, super boring. I haven't been paying too much attention to it, to be honest. Been looking at my gaming tokens more, just seeing what they're doing, seeing if I can get in, put some more capital into those things as they pull back a little bit. I mean, those are ones I'm not taking profit on right now. I'm going to let that cycle play out because the upside is worth it, in my opinion. I'll trade the Bitcoin Delta, maybe the Solana Delta in these low time frames. Still waiting for Cardano to pop out of its hole. So let's go right back over here one more time. So it's what's going on. We got this all-time high at 67.1. We had to pull back. 95.4% Laplace distribution range supported that price action. And we've got the 95.4 to the top side, breaking right through this projection right here. And like I just said earlier, this wick ran up and tested the bottom side of that top side 95.4% Laplace distribution range. So if you look at this projection from the all-time high, so where's the mean at? The mean is right at the all-time high, right? Actually, about $500 above it is where that mean is. It's right up at the top of the wick, actually. So that's an area of interest right there. You can see from that projection back there, that mean and this 95.4% Laplace distribution range is coming together in the next couple weeks. So I'll be looking for Bitcoin to get up into the 68.3 range on that projection, right? Stabilize up here. And here's what's going to probably happen is that this is the kind of stuff I wait for to get a signal. But then I see how this price action's so damn boring. This is exactly what they do, right? These algos are just having this little battle down here at this weekly range. And next thing you know, we get a $10,000 daily candle and everybody's like, what the hell happened? Those people that were sitting in longs, good on you, right? But at the same time, we could get some downside action. 100%. I mean, that one SD down there at 59.8, it's not too far away, right? About $1,000. That wouldn't have been too bad of a move if you go over here on the VRE. It's right here. It's right here. But right now on this last 4-hour candle, it's the 95.4 Laplace and the second standard deviation's a little bit below it. This area right here, though, this is powerful. This is powerful right here. The bulls are definitely going to protect that area. Got a dog on a bone back here. Vicious animals. So yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. Let me see if anything sticks out to me. See, I changed this projection from back here at the 41K low. I wanted to see what was going on from the all-time high, and it kind of makes sense right now. And I'm leaving the projection from the 28K low because, like I said, I'm really looking where these are intersecting up here just to see if Bitcoin continues just to mess around like this for the next 2 weeks. I'll be shocked. I'm really surprised this thing hasn't moved to the upside by now, right? I was expecting a major move by like Wednesday, right? We got a nice little fake out. We got up there to back up to like whatever it was, 64.1. Yeah. So about that 4-hour reverse Fisher. So that is an area of interest. That is something people are going to have to pay attention to. Fortunately, right? We don't have this indicator published yet, so a lot of our alpha traders don't have it. But yeah, if you want to know where it's at any time, ask me in the chat. I'll post the chart. Not a problem at all. Let's pop up here. Go up onto the 5-day chart. Let's take a peek up here on the 5-day. Let's see what the volatility is looking like, right? We got the low length AVR flashing. Every AVR is contracting, negatively correlated. That is keeping this price action above the Gaussian mean. That's the white line right here, the Gaussian mean of these deviation bands. Oop, pop back over here. Entropy, right? The correlation is still increasing. This 5-day candle, it's dark green, kind of telling you it's decreasing a little bit, but these returns are still above the mean, and we are still trending, right? The entropy is still trending. I go over here on our alpha volatility z-score. This is the z-score of historical volatility, right? This line, this is not historical volatility. This is the z-score of historical volatility. So you're going to have standard deviations to the top side of the mean. You're going to have standard deviations to the bottom side of the mean. Right now, the z-score of historical volatility is 1.66 standard deviations below the mean, starting to climb, and it's positively correlated. So on these next couple 5-day candles, if you see this start to cross this zero mean up here and it stays positively correlated, you're going to see a big move in Bitcoin. Really are. Let's see. There's no divergence on the returns oscillator. I mean, from that point back there, yeah, pretty just flat. I mean, you could say some weak bear div, but the variance, right? This whole climb, we got this climb up. The variance was coming down, negatively correlated. Now it's positively correlated. So from what I'm seeing here, and I'm seeing on the AVRs, that's why this 5-day candle, man, it's got a big bear wick on it. You can see right now it's still bullish. A minute ago, before we got back over 61, there was a little bit of a bear candle down there. We don't want to see that type of doji, right? And then again, I talk about it all the time. If you see this 5-day candle in tomorrow and say it's a gravestone doji, right? Don't trade that shit. Look at the volatility. The volatility is creating the candles, not the other way around. You can't be like, gravestone doji, we're definitely going down for sure. And I'll tell you what, same thing. Like a lot of times I've seen in the past, like you'll get a hangman, if you know what a hangman candle is. And people play these dojis, and there's a high probability that the trade's going to go against. You need to trade the volatility, and what I'm seeing on the 5-day volatility right now is telling me a walk up on the 5-day. So I would not be a bit surprised by the end of tomorrow if price action is up around right up there by the freaking 4-hour Fisher again, right? Because those AVRs, the institutional futures, right? They've been put, and this has all got to do with options too, right? So obviously, there's been a lot of people were selling futures. There's no doubt about it. I'd like to see we're going to have these metrics on our website. On it. The z-score of log returns is heading down. So what I want to do real quick though is I'm going to change the length on this from 30. First, I'm going to drop it to a 15. I want to take a peek real quick. Okay. Drop this back down. Let's see here. I mean, this thing, yeah, it's hidden. It's right behind it, probably. I mean, there is a little bit of bear div on the log returns and price action, but then I'm going to always go back to the volatility. I'm going to look at the volatility. I'm looking at the returns oscillator, right? Returns oscillator, the correlation between returns, price action is starting to increase on this 5-day candle. And that's why we're getting that pullback right here on this 5-day. I mean, that returns is sloping down. So when we get this closed tomorrow, it'll be interesting to see what exactly happens. Is this returns oscillator going to turn back up? I like seeing on the there is no bear div on the deviation log pro, so that's important. And so I'm going to go right back to volatility, right? And I'm looking at the AVRs, I'm looking at the AVZ, and they both look good. The 3 AVRs are saying walk up. The historical volatility z-score is definitely, there's a high probability this climbs, that this z-score starts to climb back up into as I like to say, the right side of the bell curve. That's the side of the mountain Bilbo skis down, and he's goes fast. Let's see. Then yeah, the Gaussian mean or ultimate power mean indicator too. I really like it. I really do. Everything's bullish. Everything's bullish. And I mean, we're talking prices down here under 50K to test these power means. It's highly more likely these power means come to price action if this were to keep going sideways and then take off from there. But it's not like these are holding them back. This is what you wanted to see on the 5-day. We broke back up above these power means. we broke up back up above the central power mean, and it's starting to flatten out. Maybe in the next couple candles, we get a nice slope here, right? You can see this is the reverse fissure down here, and it is definitely sloping up. So that's good to see. Yeah, the 5-day looks good. Let's see. Didn't we get that new 7-day? Second, guys. Yes, we did. Yesterday, today's the first day of the 7-day candle, right? Variance is coming down, negatively correlated. We're not there's no div. There's no div anywhere. We had this little bit, right? We talked about this yesterday. We had this bear divergence on the returns oscillator and price action. But the correlation for that read is decreasing. So I don't like that. I don't like taking that read. And because this is a lower high, just like the DLP, there's no problem there. Let's blow this ABZ up. If we start to drop down and lower standard deviations to the downside here, negatively correlated, that's good as well for some price action to the upside. Look at the AVRs, same as the 5-day. They're all contracting, negatively correlated. That more times than often, very high percentage, that will ebb and flow right into a massive pump. You contract negatively correlated. When the volatility finally expands, the correlation goes positive. Let's see here. And just all these high time frames, I like the entropy on them. Let's go to the 3-day. I'm pretty sure 3-day's flashing. Yep. So same thing here, right? Obviously, I like this low length on the 3-day. Get this candle. Oh yeah, we closed today. Yes, yes, we get the new 3-day candle today. That's right. I talked about that yesterday, so that's awesome. Get a new 3-day. The low length's expanding positively correlated. Little bit of tiny expansion negatively correlated here. Flat volatility negatively correlated there as well. I'm surprised this isn't more of a doji candle, right? Or even that it doesn't have more of. That's what I'm saying. By the end of the day today, I would probably look for this to be back up above the Gaussian mean, 61,325. I mean, we're super close to it now, but even have more of a bullwhip, right? There's going to be more of a bullwhip. So let's see what happens. Back to correlation is definitely still on the increasing side. Kind of bouncing in and out of trend right here. You can see the candle colors, all right? Trend sideways, a little randomness. Trend the last couple 3-day candles, now in randomness. And really, when you get that color, it's kind of like right on the borderline. When you start to get into the dark pink and the light pink, that's definitely random. Let's see. And on the 3-day, I mean, there was definitely some hidden bear or some bear div, sorry. Bear div, but I am liking the Z-score. The Z-score, there is no issues at all, but right, I switch this up to a 15. Just fine and dandy. Let me even drop that some. Let's set it. Let's match that up with the with my returns oscillator. Let's take a peek now. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's and when you go on when you set it the same as the returns oscillator, right? You're going to see there's definitely bear div too. But both those spots played out, right? And this could we get more downside? Sure, we could. But this weekend to me is going to be very interesting. Sort of the 2-day. New 2-day candle tomorrow. We got the low length contracting negatively correlated, kind of sideways positively correlated contraction. And then we got a little bit of expansion. Nope, a little bit of contraction positively correlated. Yeah, so this 2-day candle is definitely down. And it's got a bear wick, and that's what the volatility is definitely telling me. I like the correlation still on the upside. You can see the historical volatility Z-score, right? It's heading down. It's right at the mean right now. It's actually, yeah, it's only 0.03 standard deviations above the mean, positively correlated. So does the Z-score bounce right here? go up positive on this new 2-day candle tomorrow, or if we get a pump here through the day, yet to be seen. There is no bear div on the deviation log pro from the all-time high. That's special. I like a lot. It's a 4-hour looking light. So we're still at 235. So the 4-hour just been a shit show, right? Up and down, volatility trader's dream. I mean, if you're trading it, we have got bull div. Bull div's been building on the 4-hour for quite some time, right? From quite some time. From this down move right here, these are all lower lows, right? Then you go here, all higher lows. Same with this, except this move down here, but that boom, these 2 points, all higher lows. So there's bull div building on the 4-hour, but you can see the variance. I mean, look at this. All right, nothing really is sticking out at all. It's contracting. It's definitely coming down, positively correlated. I like seeing the 2400 right here. It's contracting, negatively correlated, contracting, positively correlated, contracting, negatively correlated. So you're going to have more of a bull wick on this 4-hour, and we do. Well, let's see, 61.4. Yeah, I mean, that's how we want to close the day above this Gaussian mean on the 4-hour. This read on the AVZ, right? I mean, obviously Z scores at 0.63 standard deviations to the downside heading into positive correlation. You want that to change. You want the Z score to start heading up with the positive correlation. If it continues down more through the standard deviation range to the downside and it's positively correlated, you're going to see the price action leak down. As we just dip deeper and deeper into the intraday 4-hour, then the 90-minute. I mean, the 981 is expanding, positively correlated, right? We're contracting. I mean, the 90 minutes flashing, right? The 636, 2400, both flashing. Variance is coming down almost to the bottom right now, negatively correlated. Let's see this variance pop, go into positive correlation, follow the Z score log returns and the 90-minute. There is a ton of bull div between returns and price action, right? All lower lows, higher lows. So this is good for an end of the day run if Bitcoin deems it necessary, right? We're all slaves to the Bitcoin, slaves to the algos. That's why we use these freaking indicators. We want to know what the volatility is doing, and then the statistics, these probabilities. We get ranges. We can figure out what the algos are targeting and when the algo is ready to take off. That's why we use this stuff. There's no other indicators in existence that are going to tell you these things. That's what people don't understand. You can use all the other stuff you want. I don't care how you trade. I mean, I love having a ton of people on the other side of my trades. That's what, as a volatility trader, we love. And that's why we're not begging anybody. It's like, if you want to learn this stuff, come to our Discord, man. We're a friendly group of people. We'll help you out. If not, all the power to you. I'm going to tell you the same thing. Don't be emotionally attached to your trades. Take your profits and limit your losses. That's all you got to do. And when I say limit your losses, have a number in your head. Don't put a freaking stop loss in the system. That's the worst thing you could ever do. I don't care what anybody says. You're literally, the exchange operators can see where they're all at. And everybody using traditional TA risk management strategies are being taught the same thing, right? And they're either using like average true range, which that's a bad mistake. Don't do it, right? The best thing you can do is use standard deviation levels. Use price action volatility ranges. Keep that stop loss in your head, depending on how you trade, right? I don't know how exposed people are. I really don't care. I know how exposed I am or underexposed I am. That's all that matters to me. And I will always have a number in my head just in case, right? Because volatility can flash something. I'll see it. I'll take that move. If it turns against me, I'll have a number in my head. I mean, if I'm 3 Bitcoin long, there's going to be a wide range for me, right? I mean, that's like right now. That's what, 180K position? I can give a $2,000 range there, right? And I'm looking at deviation levels. We start closing 15-minute candles below this weekly range, and you're up here in a trade off the weekly, get out, man. Get out. It's not good. It's not good at all. But depending on what your exposure is, you can afford to let that drop to the 1SD to see what happens. Does it? And I'm talking about you come down here and you just start rejecting on 15-minute candles, going sideways off of the bottom of the weekly range. Wake up. Wake up. That thing's probably going to come down. And if it does not bounce here, you get the hell out of that trade immediately. Limit your loss. That's how I play that. Right, MJ? Let's see here. Let's get back over here. That's let me check the 45-minute room. Okay. Historical volatility Z-score is heading up, heading into positive correlation. It's almost 1 standard deviation below the mean. Same thing on the 90-minute. There is just a shit ton of bull div, right? And you can see on the 45. And remember, like I say, shit rolls uphill, not downhill. So you see something on the 15 into the 45, it's rolling into the 90. It's going to move right up through. It's going to ripple up through time. That's how this stuff works. That's why when I'm at the beginning of the day, I backtrack it. I go from like, especially if we have a new 2-day or 3-day candle, I'll start there and then go to the daily, then the 12, then the 4, then the 90, then the 45, then the 15. Kind of gives me an idea. I like to see it backwards first, and then it helps me a lot more going forward, if you know what I mean. That's how I look at that. That is interesting here. Interesting entry period on 40, 45. It's definitely back in randomness, but you can see the decreasing correlation is, I mean, we're losing that, right? And is what that's telling you. That the red candles are telling you that when you go into trend, that move is coming down, right? The move is coming down. This is another indicator where I can literally look at this chart. Here, give you a good example. Give you a real good example. I'm not even looking. Oh, pretend like I'm not looking. Nobody's not looking. Let's turn off that price action. Let's turn off those deviation bands. Let's get a little vertical out here. Where you at? Right there, buddy. Whoops, that's the wrong color, Slim. Dun, dun. I like to use the trend, right? Because that's when it is going to nail the direction of price. 100%, no doubt about it. Let me see here. Obviously, this market's been bleeding. All right. Shit. Where's the green? Where's the green trend? No wonder I'm in a bad mood. Just kidding. Let's see here. Too many red lines, not enough. All right. Turn this price action back on. Top side. Down, 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 right? Because the color up here, the green and the red, is going to tell you which way price action is going. The correlation is building for an upside move. The correlation is building for a downside move, right? That's what the red and the green's telling you. Then when you see entropy drop into trend, it's a no-brainer which way price action's going. And I can do this literally. You guys have seen me do it before that watch this all the time. You can do it right here, right? Look at this up move. Look how see how the entropy goes into trend, building correlation for an up move. Look at all the AVRs. Expansion, positively correlated. expansion, positively correlated, expansion, positively correlated, expansion, negatively correlated, expansion, negatively correlated, expansion, negatively correlated. Every one of them, negatively correlated, negatively correlated. I mean, this is why we trade volatility, probability, and statistics, because these indicators will literally give you a shout out what's happening with price action. That's what you want to know, right? It's what everybody wants to know. Everybody's always saying, "Oh, I want an indicator that tells me what button to hit." It's like we've had them forever, right? People just want to even simplify it more and more and more. When you understand how to read all this stuff, it's already there. The green and the red button pushing, it's already there. If you just trust the freaking indicators, take your entries, know how to get a limit order filled in the first place. If I'm down here on the 15-minute chart and I'm looking for an entry, I'm going to drop onto the 5-minute and I'm going to wait. I don't care if the price action takes off without me. The 5-minute is going to turn back. You're going to get a pullback at some point and you're going to be able to nail a limit entry. Same with an exit too. You just got to pay attention to what you're seeing on the charts. That's all I'm saying. Now, let me go over here onto the VRE. We're going to start off with, take a peek at Solana. It's been over here bouncing around. Yep. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Now, where's their weekly range? That's the R2. I think the weekly for Solana. There's the weekly Solana volatility range, right? Coming in this week. It was the bottom side was like 197.50, top side 201. So then you're looking at this red dotted line. That's the R1. And here's the R2. It was bouncing here for a minute because that resistance for the weekly volatility price action range will turn to support. Well, we dip back below it, but look, it's trying to stay above this range. Now you can see we almost had a 95.4 Laplace distribution range, right? On this down move on Solana. This was a no-brainer. Solana went on a nice little run, right? But this thing's revving up, right? We saw it on the charts. I'll pull it up. Especially you look at that 5-day and the daily, it's just like, oh shit. So this will be interesting to see. The Solana in the next couple hours, does it make a run back up to this daily range? But you've got literally, here is the weekly R2, right? This is the monthly. Is that the R1? Is that the R2? That's the R1. Okay. So that's the first resistance level of the monthly. So that is a powerful area. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Hey, if Solana starts rejecting here, though, that thing's going to stay resistance. It could be a rough weekend. You get back up above this, and even you make an end of the day run back up here to the daily volatility range, because the new daily volatility range is going to be right around this first SD. So these Solana bulls, they're going to want to close up here above 238, 230, make it say 239. Because you always want price action to close above where the new daily volatility range is going to be, right? If you're a bear, you want it to close below because it can use that point as a rejection point for more downside. Or you can go up and close above it and use it as a bounce point to the top side. That's how these price action volatility ranges work. And when you learn how to work in these deviation levels too, it becomes very powerful indeed. Here, let me go to the screen chat real quick. Sure I'm not missing anything. Nope, good. Okay, so Solana. Let's bounce over here. So Solana, my projection boss. Got to back this up one more candle on the PV1. Problem. I know we looked at this yesterday. I'm just going to see got any. Let's looking at today. Yeah, right. I mean, when Solana broke out, right, it made a run to the 99.7 Laplace distribution range. The top of the 95.4, all those candle closes, it was supporting it. Finally broke to the downside. Kind of surprised it didn't bounce off the 68.3. I mean, that would have been back down around 165, and in my opinion, one hell of a buy right there. But you can see right now, look for the candle. Look where the candle's trying to close, right? Above that 95 forward. If you see that candle close today, close above there, that's good. Because look what happened yesterday, right? We came down and tested it perfectly too. Tested it perfectly too. If Bitcoin goes on a little run here at the end of the day, you'll see Solana. Now look, it pull right back up here to about 245 area, possibly. We'll see what happens. You know how this stuff rolls, and they're highly correlated. Solana, Bitcoin, Cardano, they're all jiving, shucking and jiving together. Let's see. Oh shit, we're in this new cancel culture world. I probably shouldn't use that term, huh? Shucking and jiving. Give me a break. Let's see here.
My colloquialisms must be off because I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't even know how long ago or where the hell I heard that at. Where the hell I heard that at.
Long as it doesn't interfere with our trades, I'm all good.
Nah. You can see this bad boy broke up above the 99.7, right? And that was at Bitcoin at 28K. Oh, no, it wasn't. Hell, this is a daily. Was that? No. What's the date on that? July 20th, 21? What the hell, where was that? Hold on, man. I got to figure this out. I think the 28 was like down here. Okay, we go back over here. What? Holy crap, it was. You gotta shit me right now, you guys. Who the hell got into Solana? Who got into Solana when Bitcoin was at that 28K low? I mean, God, man, Solana was at what, $22.98? Jesus. That's all I can say about that. Nice trade right there. Whoever got in that, how did I miss that battle? Yeah, you know me, I pay attention to Bitcoin most of the time. Wish I would have bought down there though, right? I mean, I didn't really start acquiring Solana until it was about $140, I think. That's when it started loading up, which is fine. That's a good entry too, in my opinion. That was massive though. That was massive. But when you see price action like this, get outside the 99.7 Laplace distribution range, it's just no you're coming back in here. There's a 0.03% chance that price action stays out here. It's going to come back down in here. Right? That's just the way it works. That's just the way it works. Now that we did that, to see that, and that's actually looking good. I want to see that close above this 95.4. Nope. There we go. Up over here.
Yeah, and by the way, those probabilities, like when you see 95% probability that's going to close within a certain thing, that doesn't mean that it has to close within it 95 out of 100 times every single 100 bars, obviously, right? Each candle has its own probability, obviously. And so you can have, like, you can see on the Solana charts that Bilbo was just showing that, like, it's been riding outside of the second standard deviation of probabilities for a long time. And how does it do that? Well, that's because each individual candle has its own measurement of probability. So you can
and those probabilities got nothing to do. Nothing to do with like 95 out of the last 100 candles. That's not how that works. It's literally there's a 95.4% chance. What is happening? Who is speaking right now? That's not Yasha talking, is it?
That was me. That's me. Yeah.
That is you, Yasha? Holy
yeah. Why?
shit.
That sound funny? That sound funny?
Yeah. Doesn't he?
It's my mic. It's my mic. I got a weird filter on, maybe.
You do got a weird filter on. It's your voice. You know who you sound like. I'm looking on there and I'm like, it sounded like Iscariot, big time. I'm like, oh shit, Yasha. What the hell is happening?
Different hardware setup.
Let me see here. Let's go to the daily Solana chart. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, don't slow up on me now, silly ass. Look at Solana. Look at Solana on the daily. Look at the 2400 ABR for crying out loud. Oof. Party time. Party time's coming in Solana land. Just looking at this, especially there's a little expansion here, contraction negatively correlated, expansion positively correlated. The fact that this freaking candle is down, man, I'm looking for this thing to rip up here. I'm looking for this thing by the end of the day, literally to be $10 higher. This volatility is making no sense with that candle. Not even, especially, I mean, dude, we are trending. We're trending too. Correlation increasing to the top side. This is just, yeah, this is some mass screwology. There's no bear divs at all on returns oscillator or freaking log returns Z-score. And you can see this down move, right? It is not correlated at all. The returns read is not correlated with price action at all. Like I said, that is a daily candle. What does this 4 hour look like? This 4 hours has got to be disgusting for this to be pulling the daily down like that. But then look, you got a 4 hour massive freaking bullish doji with exactly the opposite reads. Am I in the twilight zone right now? The daily's saying up, 4 hour is saying down, and the 4 hours up and the daily's down. You don't catch me laughing about my reads very often, but this shit just doesn't make any sense, right?
Well, because that first 4 hour of the day was kind of dumpy, no? Maybe
Yeah,
the
but
second. Yeah.
it's just the way these candles are right now. The way these candles are right now. Both of the top two AVRs are saying down. And the bottom is saying up, a walk up. So if anything, there should be more of a bearish candle. Hell, you got a big freaking, I mean, that's a bullish hammer right there. Actually, it's not. My bad. Actually, that's actually a hangman build. Now that needs to get up. You need to see a blue. If the candle starts to create and become blue, then it's a bullish hammer. Right now, though, that's a hangman. Let's see here. That could be it. Yeah, this is very interesting because what the reads are saying and what the candles are looking like, this needs to turn into a bullish hammer. If it doesn't, see, now this is where I tell you volatility creates the candles. Now it's making more sense as I investigate this a little more. You don't want this to close, this last 4 hour candle, as a hangman like that with the reads I'm getting on the volatility on the daily and the 4 hour. That thing could slide big time. So then I'm looking, then I'm going to go right back over here. I'm going to be like, okay, slide to where? At this point, I'm looking for price action volatility ranges, probably back down here to the weekly R1, and that's at 222. So if that ends the day like that, this thing could slide all the way back down to here, which is probably going to match up with the 1 SD almost perfectly. So we'll see. I'm keeping an eye on that bad boy. Keeping an eye on that bad boy, 100%. Time is 2:38. Good. Okay, now let's go mess around here real quick. I love having these pancake swap pairs on TradingView. Thank you, TradingView. I don't give him thanks very much, but I'll thank him for adding these TradingView pairs. Let's check out ALTURA. Let's check out old ALTURA on the 4 hour, which, I mean, there's just no history. I mean, obviously this thing just launched. You got one ABR saying up, one saying down. You got freaking historical volatility Z-score almost at the mean, positively correlated. The DLP is definitely building to the downside, but right now building a little bit from back there, definitely building some hidden bull. So we'll see how this last 4 hour candle a day closes for ALTURA. Let's get a 90-minute. We'll probably get the big AVR. Yeah, there we go. Yep, every one of these AVRs is saying down, right? Trending entropy. Having an outlier on the variance to the top side, but then at the same time, what the hell, man? At the same time, building some bull div in the returns oscillator. And the decrease in correlation, tiny little histogram there. I want to see what this looks like when the day closes. But yeah, this 90-minute, nah, I don't think ALTURA is going to have any luck. These gaming tokens, though, a lot of this stuff, things could pump this weekend, to be honest. They're really starting to get some traction. But you don't want to see this historical volatility, right? It's heading back up to the top side, negatively correlating. If this thing continues up, I mean, it's almost 2 standard deviations below the mean. You want this correlation to go positive at the close or at the end of this 90-minute candle, which is happening real soon here. 50 minutes. 50 minutes, about a half hour after we close out the stream. We're taking a peek at that for sure. I'm going to see if that correlation changes, see if ALTURA gets a chance. But just like a lot of shit, I mean, this thing just humdinging around. Is that the, yep, that's a reverse wave trend. So, you know, starting this trend now, right? That can flip immediately. You see how this works. I mean, the correlation can change in a heartbeat. That's why you got to look at the volatility. Right now, all the volatility is saying down. Let's see if the 45 is saying anything different, maybe, and it's going to change the 90. The 45-minute closes in 3.5 minutes. You got the high length at least is good. High length, negatively correlated, contracting a little bit. You got a dark red candle too. This thing is trending right to the downside, but that's telling you that downside move is decreasing. See what happens on the 45 too. This thing is definitely, it's starting to have an outlier. Starting to have an outlier on the Z-score historical volatility, and it is negatively correlated. Significant. So if this does not change to the top side and this continues to go up, I could roll right back up in the ALTURA and sort of see here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I had to turn it. Nobody's allowed to see my trust wallet. Except MJ. What's up, baby? Y'all? Holy crap, that thing slid, didn't it, MJ? I didn't realize that. Holy crap. Bye. Not financial advice, MJ. You've been waiting, son. Let me see something real quick. Pop this on ALTURA. I know right where he was at. See if he's getting his action. Almost a 2 SD move. Just hit the actually just bounced off of the daily S1. So that's interesting. Here's a second standard deviation right down here. That's probably, I don't know, 24 cents probably. God, ALTURA, man, that thing was at almost 50 cents the other day. It's almost at a 50% pullback. Incredible. Incredible. Holy mercy. Oop, I just said that, and I do that. Dumbass. Have to scrub that off the screen. Okay, let's see here. I tried this the other day. I might be able to populate I'll even take a 4-hour in ALTURA. See if we can get an ALTURA read on the projection bosses. Might be able to on 4. Yeah, but it's just probably going to be PV2, which that is fine. It's fine indeed. Let me move this right back to here, right when the run really starts. 34 bars. See if I did it. Right spot. Might not out. Come on, man. Move. No, not even close. Yeah, this is weird on these coins. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Or whoops. There we go. Boy. Yeah, that wick right there, boy. That was, yeah. Now I see what you were talking about, MJ. That's the one you miss, big boy, isn't it? Interesting. Boy, it almost came back and tested that 68.3 Laplace distribution. Yes, it did. Wow, wow, wow. I bet you, if we move this baby, let's see, what is that? How many candles? One, two, three, four, five. Let's see here if that's right. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that thing came down. That wicked right down. That's a better read. Look out, boy. That 95.4% range was really capping that price action. Then it had that pullback and tested the bottom side of the 68.3 and the fifth standard deviation. That's that blue dot right there. That's a one hell of a move. You wonder why it pulled up like that? There you go. That's why. Now look where this price action, look where this candle's at right now on this 4 hour. It is hanging right on the top side of the 68.3. Good stuff. What you gonna do, Altura? What you gonna do? Awesome. We have in here. Some of you Senex, Takumi, any of you new guys? You want to look something up? What you got? Somebody type something in the chat. Let's look at something. Or not. Give me free reign. What's up today?
Monero?
Oh yeah, freaking you know what I wanted to look at? Sorry, got you all excited. Everybody has seen this happening. Holy shit, man. B&B's on mission.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to Tether, Bitcoin. Bowser. Where am I going to start this at? That is not a good spot. I don't want to do it back to there. Actually, on the 4 hour, that's where it did definitely pop. Let's move this all the way back. See what this thing's beating up. Okay, it's 54. Yeah, this caught my attention earlier where I was like, holy shit, B&B's up 10%. Bitcoin down here dicking around. There you go. If you're in this BTC, if you're in this BNB trade, do I even need to speak? What should you be doing right now? Take your profit, man. Take your profit. 100% take your profit. We are at the 99.7 Laplace distribution range. Look, we got above it here, right? Whoop, let's pull back down inside. Then it rode it for a while, then shot right up to it again. Right up to it again. And if we want, let's see, 8, we move this 8 back. Let's see where we're at. Just on this latest move. I bet this thing's almost there too. Yeah. I mean, if you go from this, I mean, it's got room to run, but I'm looking at that longer projection going, I mean, if you're in it, especially if you got in down here, like under $500, you're not taking your profit. What is that, 20%? Might want to think about taking your profit, right? That's a nice looking candle there, though. Close the day out on if that's how that rocks. Let's check it daily. That's where I want to put it. Let me back this up one more. Let me see. Actually, no. Let's bring it way back there on the daily and see what 38. And then yeah, I'll go over there. I will check that out for you, Yasha. Yeah, I mean, on a longer term projection on the daily, I mean, you're good to go, right? I mean, this 95.4 has been supporting the price action. I don't think this thing won't come back down here and test this 95.4 at like 550 or something. That's why if you're in that on the 4 hour and you're in on that trade, I'd be taking my damn profit. Let's put this on 9. Yeah, that's why too. Whoops. Nope, that needs to go one more back. I'll even though that's a good read, that is not a correct spot. So get back to where it should be. And yeah, I mean, it looks good. Especially if you close up here, you might look for a daily candle to come down and maybe test that 5. Oh, that's almost 590. Powerful little BNB. Seifu, man. Seifu. Okay, let's see here. Dot Yep. Let's see. Let's check out dot. We'll go in order here. Can you see dot tether Binance? Okay. Yeah, I mean, you were beating up against the 95.4 right there, and right now you're getting this pullback. That's from that projection right there. Let's see, is there a better spot? And that's where I would go because this, I mean, I could bring it all the way back. Let's check that first. Whoops. Get your little ruler here, man. 38. Let's see. Whoa, 6. Blind? Yep, actually half. Yeah, this is looking good. I mean, that's got some room on this projection, right? To get up here. See, we had a little rejection there off the 95.4, a little rejection here. It's went sideways pretty much every time now, continued up. So maybe over the weekend, dot hit $60. Who knows? Obviously, right? It's going to depend on what this slack-jawed idiot Bitcoin does. Got no idea what the hell. It's like a drunk driver out there hitting telephone poles. Let me see here. But let's go over on to check that out over here. Dot Tether Binance. It's at 45 on the daily. What is it? Dot Doge. Oh Jesus! You gonna make me melt my computer and look at Dogecoin? Let me see.
No, not really, but if you want to for fun, yeah.
Dot on the daily. I mean, it's still trending. Still trending to the top side. As you can see, I mean, we're having that pullback, and we saw why, right? On the daily, it was banging up against that 95.4. But the AVRs are all, except the low length, and if this thing just be a little bit in contraction, they'd all be saying to the top side, but it's like this one's really pushing it down, which I'm surprised, unless there's expansion down here. There is, there you go. That's why. A little bit of expansion negatively correlated there. So yeah, we're getting this. That's really holding that thing down. And you got historical volatility Z-score rising up, negatively correlated. I mean, yeah, actually, no bear div there. No, I mean, there's just no div at all. The div that's actually building for dot is hidden, right? From this low building, because this is not a low yet, right? But if you see this price action turn up, go around, and then you see the returns oscillator turn back up and you get a blue histogram, that's probably going to fly a little bit. That's probably going to fly. Bitcoin is dropping. Shit. That historical volatility Z-score, man, that thing is just boring. Thing just going sideways. 0.67 standard deviations to the top side. It's probably sloping down, negatively correlated. A little bit of slope down, yeah. Telling me it's going to walk up. But the AVRs, 2 are saying down, 1 saying got a doji. Yep, you do. Beautiful little doji too. They don't get much better than that. You don't get much better than that. Yeah, but like Dot, Cardano, Solana, when Bitcoin breaks out, those 3 are just gonna freaking they're gonna jump on Bitcoin's jetpack. Trust me, for sure. Okay, let me see here. Okay, what was next? Yeah, we'll check. We'll definitely check that real quick. What do you look like on the daily? It's down. These red candles are decreasing now. As you're starting to drop down, it's not trending yet. It's all random. This is all random, but every AVR is saying down. Every one of them saying down. And you're having an outlier to the top side going up on the variance. That's why I always blow this up. 'Cause it's always more significant than you realize. All right, so Monero right now definitely having is their div, because boy, whatever read we're getting on the returns, it's highly correlated. No, there's no div on either side. It's really clean. Returns and price action are really clean. So that being said, if this returns does turn up and we get these blue histograms, Monero's gonna, we're gonna have a new day. You'll probably see a lot of this change. They're all positively correlated. You just need to see volatility come in here. You want to see if this entropy drops down in the trend, you're gonna want to see green EPP candles. DLP though, right? It's just building. Don't, 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 don't. So there is no bull div anywhere. But like I said, it's all clean. Really clean daily chart. The 4 hour says. Oh, what are you doing? Just wait until the end of the stream then. There you go. They're all sitting down too.
Sponsored by water.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, look at this trend to the downside the whole time. This is all trend. Trend. Just like if I were to turn that price action off, I would have probably right about here. I would have put the red vertical. It's been down ever since. We had one little. No, quit begging. I gotta act. I got a Yeti. Get up. You want to say hi? Stand up. Stand up. Get up. Come on. Get up. Let's say hi to everybody. Hi, big dog. This is my 130-pound monster.
Oh.
Are you a good boy? And here's his 100-pound brother. What are you gonna do?
Get them some Dogecoin, man.
See here. You know what? Yeah. I mean, just like everything's gonna follow Bitcoin around. The only thing I see pumping without Bitcoin are these gaming tokens. Hi, buddy. I know you're jealous. Let's see here. I literally, Takumi, have not looked at this, and I bet I haven't looked at a chart on Litecoin since the last bull run, where we're just like Tron and Verge, and I'm wanted for sexual assault. I'm not even allowed to buy those tokens. They'll arrest me on sight. I dumped on everybody so hard when Bitcoin was at like, I don't know, I think Bitcoin was around 16K on the way up. I dumped my bags of Tron, my bags of Verge, my bags of Litecoin. I dumped all that shit, but it kept going up, right? But yeah, they were like, oh, he raped us. Down here. Yep. Now, perps I want. There we go. Litecoin Tether. Jesus, I have not looked at Litecoin in so long. It's definitely ramping up on the daily. All the AVRs are staying up on the daily. So is the historical volatility Z-score. Correlations heading to the downside, and so is the Z-score. There's no, let's see, nope, no bear div, no bull div anywhere. There's hidden. Got some hidden bull building, and there is a decreasing correlation between returns and price action. The variance is coming down, positively correlated though. That is one of the main reasons why we're seeing this daily candle down, is this variance read right here, and the returns oscillator coming down. Because you can still, I mean, the returns are coming down. Price action eventually will follow. I really like to use this correlation when it comes to divergence to know, hey, is this going to be a powerful bear div or bull div move? Is it highly correlated? That's when I jump on. Let's see, we're heading back into randomness on the entropy. Let's see what the 4 hours time is at 2:59. What else was on there? Yeah, that's what I always do. I'll always pick right at a pivot in price on the new candle, Takumi, like wherever the pivot of price is. I will, like, if it's a pivot to the top side, I'll put it on the first candle to the top side. As long as it's not like a a doji dojis I don't like to start on because that's indecision. I want to start when the move really starts happening. So that's when I'll start. Either the first candle of a move to the top side or the downside is a good place. And you can check every one. You can put those freaking projections at every pivot just to see what makes sense, see what's being respected. People are like, oh, well, you're just blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, I'm putting them right at pivots and price. Some pivots and price are going to be stronger than the other. And that's where you could really tell, hey, this is where it all started, right? This is where you can trust this projection, especially if you see something riding down one of those deviations, and bouncing off there and rejecting off another one. It's like, oh, this is the spot right here. That's why I'll leave things in certain places on the daily chart for quite some time. Well, the 4 hour, I mean, Litecoin might have a little weekend move coming. Either, obviously, especially Litecoin, right? It's going to follow Bitcoin. It's little brother, obviously it is. So yeah, Litecoin doesn't look too bad actually. This is all going to depend on Bitcoin though. And every chart I look at, I'm like, yep, even Litecoin says Bitcoin's a drunkard. That has no clue what the hell it's doing. All right, this is what Bitcoin does, man. Especially you got every damn knuckle on YouTube saying we're going to the moon, man. Bitcoin's going to the moon. Where eventually, by the end of the year, I think we are going to be over $100,000 Bitcoin. But I'm also looking at the daily charts and all this other stuff going, Bitcoin is just dicking people around major right now, lulling people to sleep, and all of a sudden, kaboom, you're out of nowhere, and it's coming because I see some of these volatility flashes happening. Oh, they love their treats. They're probably looking up right now. When we get back off our morning walk, I got dehydrated chicken strips that are all natural. They get one of those and they get a little peanut butter biscuit, and then they get their little hip and joint formula, little chicken treats that are all natural too, to turmeric and black pepper, and they crush up seashells for the what is it, chondroitin and whatever the other shit is, MSM. I don't know what the hell it is actually, but they love it. It's their chicky bisky hippies. They all just looked at me. I'll be at the park and I'll be like, you ready for your chicky bisky hippie? And they just go nuts. They know what they're getting. Their trifecta of treats. All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up. If you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, we are Alpha Trading. We trade volatility, probability, and statistics, and we like to teach people to do the same. We're a friendly little Discord, right? Come. The link to the Discord is in the description of the YouTube videos. Follow the welcome message. It'll tell you what to do. And obviously, thank you guys for watching live in the Discord. Another perk of being in the Discord, you get to watch these live streams as they're happening. You get to see the dogs driving me nuts for their afternoon walk. And with all that being said, we're here to live out this big, beautiful blue marble. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon or morning, afternoon, and evening. Me and Max say, see you guys Monday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If I do have a weekend stream, it'll be in Wolfpack chat, so look out for it. See you guys.